Hello everybody, Josh Giselle, Breakrough Real Estate Property Management and Handyman Services. Coming at you again this evening with another story. Tonight's story is my very first open house. You're going to notice a lot of these stories are from when I first became a realtor because, well, some people just learn everything the hard way. The bad news is, I learned everything the hard way. The good news is, I've got some great stories to tell you, and I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. Right? So, again, the story begins at our Prudential office right there, 59th Avenue in Beardsley. And I'm a brand new agent, just got my cards, so excited to go. So people are like, you need to hold an open house. Great, gladly hold an open house. What's an open house? They're like, well, you take a listing, you put signs out, you have snacks, drinks, and you try to sell that home. So it's like, oh, cool, right on, I can do that. So I'm like, I don't have any listings. What do I do? They're like, well, talk to somebody in your office. Chances are they'll have one, and they'll let you hold that house open. It's like, okay, cool. So about a week later, we're having a meeting, and everyone is there at the office. So we had about 200 agents at the office at that point in time. So a bunch of people were there. So at the end of the meeting, I pulled out an announcement. Hey, I want to hold an open house. Anybody got one? And this is, again, follow the market. So this big old guy, older guy, that was basically like king of the office at that point in time. He raises his hand, he's like, I got a listing. He's like, oh, you do? Dude, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, it's over in Whitman. Yeah, Whitman. It's like, oh, cool. I had no idea where Whitman, those two places were. I was just happy he had an open house. I mean, a house that I could hold open. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna like it. It's got, 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. I mean, it's a nice house. You'll like it. It's on a big old lot. It's like, neat. So, get all excited, right? Immediately go up to my broker and I'm like, hey, got an open house. What do I do? She's like, well, you need to take enough signs. It's like, oh, okay. Well, how many signs do I need? She's like, oh, you want to make sure you take enough. I mean, you don't want to not have enough signs. So you should take maybe 6 or 7 signs. 6 or 7 should do it. And here I'm thinking, okay, wow, 6 or 7 signs. That's a lot of signs. All right, I'll grab those. So check out all those signs. That night, go home all excited because I got my open house, print off flyers and stuff. I think it was a couple days before the actual open house. So we had time to get waters and got a cooler, had snacks. And then this is back in the day, so we didn't just GPS stuff before. So I think I map quested it. And like the night before, I look it up and I'm like, oh crud, this place is like 45 minutes away. Oh man. And then I realized, oh shoot, I scheduled this open house from like 8 to noon. So if we're gonna be on time, we gotta leave at like 6:30. So anyway, God bless my wife and my ex-wife and my daughter, because they got up early. I mean, we got up at like 5:30, and at the time that was really early for us. Anyway, so we take off, and we realize, wow, this is really out here, man. Whitman is kind of a suburb. So we drive, and we're like, man, okay, so it's off Grand. Then you make a left, then you make a right, and you go down a ways, and you make another left, and you make another right, and you go down another ways, and then you get to a dirt road. Then you take that down a ways, and then you make a right, and then finally up a ways, you make a left, and then there's the house. He was joking. It was a really nice house on a really nice lot. Unfortunately, this is the middle of summer. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, basically, and it is already in the 80s. There is no power or water on at this house, and realized that I don't even have a key to the garage. I had one key to get into the house, but I couldn't even show the garage. And nonetheless, that's not here nor there, but I tell my wife and my daughter at that point, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go put out the signs. Do you guys want to stay here? They're like, yeah, we'll stay here. So I start heading out to put up the signs. I realized very quickly that my 6 or 7 signs is not nearly as many signs as I need. So I stretch them, man. I try to make it as far down as you can go. You know, do I really need one here at this turn? Oh, anyway, so I did the best I could. Very, very quickly I realized, this is probably not going to be the best open house for me. So head back, and it's so funny because I walk through the door, and there's my ex-wife. Hopefully there's no correlation here. And my daughter sitting on the ice chest, already sweating because there's no circulation in this house, and it's like already like 90 degrees inside. So it's like, oh man. So, you know, we're scheduled. I'm a man of my word, so we make the most of it. About an hour and a half into it, somebody walks through the door. I was like, what? Right on. Some of you already know. Hey, you know, we're a neighbor. We saw activity over at this house, and we saw a sign, so we thought we'd come on by. Oh, jeez. Okay, great. Any thoughts of selling your home? Oh, no. We love our home. We just built it like 2 years ago, and we want to be here forever. But we've seen this house for like 6 months now listed, and we've always wanted to come inside. Like, oh, 6 months listed. Wonderful. Okay, great. Anyway, so 4-hour open house. About another hour and a half into it, second person comes by. And I'm like, yeah. If you look out the window, you can actually see our house over there. We saw people over here. We just wanted to make sure that, you weren't trying to rob the house or anything like that. Oh man, so it was a great open house. I think we sweated off a few pounds. Fortunately, we brought water. And had 2 people sign in, both of which were neighbors. And, one of which was actually checking to make sure we weren't stealing anything. So that was my very first open house. A couple learning lessons. Number 1, make sure you do research about where you're going. And try to find a place that has power and water because it's just more comfortable. Number 2, make sure you bring more than enough signs. My general rule for my agents is I tell them to ideally bring about 30 signs just to be safe. And then last but not least, thank God we live in a different world 13 years later, and it's much easier to advertise your open house to the masses. Thank goodness. So anyway, may your first open house be better than mine, and may your next open house be your best one yet. All right, talk to you guys later.